Weird excuse. It's just a really fucking poorly constructed narrative. I don't get what's so confusing. I understand. Who's his nemesis? They just mentioned his nemesis like he was a huge part of the story, and that was the literal first time we heard of him. I'm assuming it's the guy who was spearheading the operation to find him. Marco repairs my VCR collection. I actually think I still have my VCR collection from when I was a kid, and by mine I mean my parents. What am I looking for? Or VHS, not VCR, VHS, sorry.
Come to watch my home video collections, recorder and player systems, VHS machine.
Wow.
That is my videotape recorder. That is, oh, I like that. But that Philips is not good.
Alright, I'll take your word for it. It's probably fine though.
Not good, but that is better. Salora, three cobbles.
These things are giant, pretty fucking big.
Finnish mark.
Okay, it's probably enough VCRs, I think, but very impressive collection. Crazy dude swallows earbuds. Oh, it's Shoe Nice. Shoe Nice has got a pretty sad story. Well, I don't know if sad's necessarily the right word. Shoe Nice has got a story. It's not like a really good one. You play Madden, right? Yeah, I mean, you know me and Madden. I do love my football. Do a collab with Snoop. Was that the offer, S-Fan? Is Snoop Dogg wanting you to play Madden, but you're not a huge fan? Passing it off to me? Earth's Most Wanted Hacker. Pretty interesting title.
A storm is brewing in South Dakota.
Sorry to get that. Southwest 1772, right.
And it's moving swiftly into Minnesota, bringing with it rain.
Thank you for that, By the Stone. I appreciate that.
Thunder and wind. A mass exodus is taking place from one social media website to another.
MySpace, that's that good shit.
Some survivors left behind.
Oh, anyone remember MySpace music? Bangers like Broken Side? Do we have any old MySpace veterans in here? Anyone remember these guys? Because this was the shit. I even made a Gears of War montage to the Get Crunk song. Yeah, this was popular music back in the day. But I think the one most people remember him for is this music video. They just don't make music like this anymore. I was actually thinking about them the other day. They made music all the way up until like 2019, if you can believe that.
They're prompted to install a video player update. This unsuspecting computer is now a zombie.
You are watching Disrupt.
Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won. Congratulations.
Yes.
An antivirus company announces a discovery.
Is it McAfee? God rest his soul.
Typically, URLs are hosted on a single web server through a single internet protocol address. If one is found to be malicious, it's fairly easy to chop it down from the root by blocking the IP. But these URLs are utilizing a tactic known as fast flux. In a fast flux network, the IP address of the domain name is constantly switched out, making it near impossible to find the core of the infection. We see variants appearing that are created from the original MySpace exploit.
Skype is literally a Microsoft malware.
Targets Twitter.
I hate Skype. Shit's garbage. Always has been.
Makes its way onto the Macintosh ecosystem. An ordinary website.
No, not video
You can
games!
download files from
Oh my god.
Kubeface covers the otherwise safe download button with an HTML iframe. This sends a PDF file to the user that, when opened, scans the computer. It's searching for a file transfer protocol. If found, it will send out a message to the other bots, who will subsequently use the exploited username and password to make a new home within its victim.
Damn. What an asshole.
Each newly infected host, the botnet grows larger, creating a decentralized, untraceable network that churns left, churns right, goes up, and goes down on the whim of whoever has the steering wheel.
Oh my god! What? Is this a custom animation? And is this... Such high production.
It's 1997.
I haven't seen Lighthouse yet, no.
And the most popular
Not yet.
website in the world is
Yahoo
at
Answers.
7 p.m. on Monday, December 8th. Yahoo is hijacked. The message reveals that the computer of every single person who's visited Yahoo in the past month
Whoa.
has been infected with a worm. And on Christmas Day, in less than 3 weeks, the bomb will detonate and destroy millions of contaminated computer systems unless the hijackers' one demand is met. Anger erupts.
Who the fuck is
and
Kevin?
over the following days, protests
Let him out!
broke out on the streets across the United States. They set up camp outside federal courthouses, and from New York to California, people call into radio stations to cry out the phrase in real life and in video
Do you
games.
have anything else to say?
Yeah. Free Kevin!
So was the hacker just a memer? I'm guessing that's the conclusion. I'm not watching the Walton Files. That shit is not for me. It's just Five Nights at Freddy's fanfic.
Kevin isn't a terrorist. He isn't a mafia boss, and he's not here because he wiretapped the NSA or blackmailed FBI agents. Authorities say he poses an even greater danger. Because with a single phone call, they say, he can dial into the NORAD and access the nuclear arsenal
What?
of the United States of America.
The event of nuclear weapons changed
That's a huge
the world.
oversight,
Kevin might only be an
then.
innocent prankster. Or Kevin could be the world's most dangerous cyber terrorist. A man who has North America at his fingertips. To free or not to free? That is the question.
I say let him out. Call his bluff. And if he's not bluffing,
is a Windows
well,
registry
is what it is.
key. And this is that same Windows registry key modified by Kubeface, YouTube, Wikipedia, PayPal, all resolved to IP addresses employed by the Command and Control Center. This is how the Kube makes its money. When that user clicked the link, Kubeface instantly shot his browser through a number of affiliate advertising networks.
Very smart.
Instead of the machine sending HTTP GET to Google, as it normally does, an infected machine sends HTTP GET to Kubeface, who responds with a list of affiliated links. It's only after receiving those links that the machine correctly sends HTTP GET to Google, who then returns with the legit results. The first result corresponds to the first affiliate link, and when clicked, for just a brief moment, an advertisement. After that process, the used affiliate link is scrubbed, and a new one takes its place. These systems may offer
I
$2
don't
per
get it.
1,000 users that click the affiliate link. Multiply that by hundreds of thousands of infected bots across the planet, clicking links all day. and at
Where
this
would they
point,
get the
Kubeface's
affiliate
command
links,
and
though?
control
They'd
center
have
is
to be in
passively pulling in.
contact with the companies, right?
Similar to the Google search, a response is sent to Kube's Command and Control Center. It responds with a list of antivirus software downloads, picks one, and displays it on the desktop. After the user pays, their PC remains infected, and Command and Control
Damn it.
gets a paycheck.
I've been scammed.
We live in a world of bots.
Toolbars really
These
were
soulless
awful.
beings
I'm a unicorn.
Cleverbot's
In the
fucking
beginning,
great.
Kubeface uses a small portion of manually created accounts to spread initially. Completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart.
I had no idea
Normally,
that's what
capture
it's...
would be
Is
a
that
brick
actually
wall
what it
for an
stands
amateur
for?
bot program, but Kubeface has found a clever workaround. First, it sends the following command to Facebook. The login and password are encoded via an encrypted scheme that involves reading the letters, their corresponding AC values, and comparing that to a successive string of numbers
Thanks, they give
from 0
sub-username.
to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to... encrypted becomes unencrypted. Next, the site will ask for CAPTCHA. To circumvent this, the CAPTCHA
This is my
file is
biggest
mirrored to the
complaint
desktop
about
of
Disrupt.
any individual.
They tell like
Or
10 different stories without ever connecting them.
Two things happen,
So this has nothing to do
Screen is
with Kevin
unlocked.
now, right?
and the CAPTCHA for the new minion is complete.
I hate it.
Coopface deploys this
It
scheme
feels
on
so
both
fucking
devices.
disjointed, and it makes it
Knowing
so
the
hard to
friend
follow
request
the
or sent
story.
across fa-
No, it never came into play last time. It was literally two separate
Cyber
stories last time.
investigator.
As we should Dustin and the Prime
The
becoming name.
unraveling of Coopface is delivered through the very same websites it previously exploited. An Apache HTTP client is used to control files to and from a web server. Their names are cross-referenced with their respective social media accounts. And here, they posted their vacation pictures publicly. Facebook doxes their full names and pictures. They are dubbed Alibaba and 4. And now, in a rather anticlimactic peak, the Coopface command and control centers simply go offline.
Okay, we got him, I guess.
From that point on to our current day and age, Coopface's original command and control center has never been reactivated. Alibaba and 4 are off the grid. And the zombie army remains dormant.
Something like 24 people show up, each one almost as much of a nerd as the worst of a ham radio enthusiast. A folder on the wall holds up sheets of paper listing dial-up numbers for every wire center in Southern California. Armed with this list and login credentials, I'd have the ability to control any phone line in Pacific Telephone's Southern California service area.
Hello.
I tell the guys, let's take the manuals to a copy shop, run off a copy for each of us, then return the manuals before people start coming back to work in the morning. It was the most stupid decision of my early life. We drive around looking for a copy shop but can't find one. It's 2 a.m. So I take the manuals home with me. But I have a bad feeling about them. So I throw it all in some trash bags and give them to my accomplice. Tell him,
So, but why? Why? Like, what was all this for?
An unknown teenager has hacked a new network known as NORAD. It's an organization that provides aerospace warning and protection for North America, and this kid infiltrated the system just to have a look around. The move is so bold that it inspires the film War Games.
Oh, really? That's actually pretty cool.
Journalist John Markoff gets in touch with Kevin.
I love War
and wants
Games.
him
I used to
be
love
part
that
of his new
movie.
book on hackers named Cyberpunk.
Game sucks.
He's gained a reputation as a master of social engineering, but he's not interested in the money on offer. He wants to maintain a low profile, so he refuses to be
Yeah, I understand this is Kevin now,
much to
but
the
why?
displeasure of John Markoff.
Like, I don't understand at all.
On
And what does this have to do with
Thursday,
Coopface?
Kevin pulls out of the Stephen S. Wise Temple, where he works as a receptionist. In his rearview mirror, he thinks he sees a group of 3 men following him in a Ford Crown Victoria. He pulls a U-turn, and sure enough, they do the same. Kevin speeds down the I-405 and the car races after him. Suddenly, one of the men places a cop car flasher on the roof of the car, and now the sirens are crying out. Kevin pulls over. The officers rush up. They scream. Kevin is dragged out, handcuffed. His car is ransacked, but there's no signs of any bomb.
You're not gonna find it!
By now, he's a veteran in deception. The judge agrees and orders that Kevin serve his sentence in a halfway house for those with compulsive disorder.
Oh, he's hacking the court
Kevin
system.
laughs as he's listening to the ruling. He was arrested for tricking his way into a computer system, and now he deceives the judge into thinking that he's the victim of his own crimes. An idea appears. If he gets caught, he'll be sent to jail, but if he doesn't, then he'd have fooled the authorities right under their noses. Soon, he has all the passwords and credentials.
Fooled them how? What? How does it?
Control
How did he fool them?
these voicemails.
What do you
Kevin's
like?
on the
What?
run for 2 years. He loses 100 pounds. When he learns that how a criminal walks is the #1 way they're recognized, he puts pebbles in his shoes to change his stride. He uses over a dozen different names. His favorite is Eric Wise. He begins a crime spree that infiltrates the world's biggest companies, Nokia. The companies say the damage from the hacks totals. Kevin sips his coffee as he reads the paper, and suddenly, a chill passes down.
What is he hacking though? Like, what is he doing to those companies?
Positions outside the house in California. They see their targets.
So Kevin gets into Nokia, then what?
Burst in and draw their weapons, and the man denies that he's Kevin Mitnick. He's a Middle Eastern immigrant. Doesn't even own a computer.
Steals money.
More
How?
than 2,000 kilometers away.
So he gets into Nokia's what?
Throws his paper to the ground.
Intern's laptop and he's stealing money?
On the front page of the New York Times. Kevin is adamant the stories in the articles are lies. He never hacked into NORAD or wiretapped the NSA. But if you believe Kevin, then you shouldn't trust anything you've heard so far about Kevin. He takes on mythical status overnight. The little-known prankster is now public enemy #1 of cyberspace. Kevin walks the streets of Seattle in a daze. Many of the passing faces on the sidewalk seem to be staring straight back at him. He hears the faint sound of a helicopter in the sky, feels his heart beginning to thump. No one seems to notice the helicopter, but they do notice Kevin. He hurries into the courtyard of an apartment complex and uses the tall trees as cover, peering through the leaves. Kevin tosses.
So do I believe this now?
And bursts into a full-on
I was just
sprint.
told not to believe Kevin.
He gets away.
It's so much style, like it's so high effort, but it cannot deliver an actual cohesive narrative.
He's finalizing plans to leave for
This
a
is
ski vacation
2 in a row,
next day.
3 I think.
And suddenly,
Like I love the style of these videos, but my fucking god, it can't tell a story.
Your security technique will be defeated. Your technique is no good.
to someone like him, the attack and subsequent taunts are an act of war. A man steps out onto his balcony in Raleigh, North Carolina.
These aren't just stock images and shit, they have their own little custom animations they play. It's very high effort shit.
The FBI agents take their
But
positions.
none of it
outside the
actually
house.
helps with the
They
story,
see
it's
their
just
target sitting inside.
random sentences that don't even
John
fucking
Marco
connect to
marches
each
through the
other.
street. The agents burst in and draw their weapons, but find nothing. The man furiously denies that he's Kevin Mitnick. He's so convincing, the FBI agents are about to leave. But then, an agent notices an old ski jacket in the cupboard. He empties the pockets, and out falls a pay stub. Legacy Media pitches up their circus tents outside.
Most wanted computer hacker is behind bars.
Kevin shares one large holding cell with 60 other inmates. He doesn't eat for 2 days because the food isn't kosher. Inside,
And then
all
Coob
eyes are
Face.
fixed on the defendant.
Cool picture.
Kevin is charged with 14 counts of wire
Wow.
fraud, 8 counts of possession of unauthorized access devices, interception of wire or electronic communications, and causing damage to a computer. When Kevin is led away from the court, Tsutomu calls out from the front row. Kevin looks back at his nemesis, the one man who finally saw through the lies and deceptions to find him. He
Who?
nods, says nothing, and walks away. His appeals for bail are churned down by every single court in the US, including the Supreme. He has one last idea. But then, a group of officers storm into the cell and throw him into solitary confinement.
You skipped half. I didn't skip shit, I skipped an ad. I skipped his ad break and merch plug. I didn't skip shit.
And then this comes up.
What are you talking about? I didn't miss anything. What a weird excuse. It's just a really fucking poorly constructed narrative. I don't get what's so confusing, I understand. Who's his nemesis? They just mentioned his nemesis like he was a huge part of the story, and that was the literal first time we heard of him. I'm assuming it's the guy who was spearheading the operation to find him. But that's just an assumption. So who is his nemesis then? Pop quiz. And why is he all of a sudden a central character to make a little animation about him? His name is Joe Clearly. His name is Satoyu. I think. I don't know. That's what I fucking thought.
The hack on Yahoo.
So you're not
was a
following
hoax
it like you
carried out
claimed.
by members of the Free Kevin movement. There was no logic bomb. After 4 years of prison and solitary confinement, Kevin pleads guilty to 4 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of computer fraud, and 1 count of illegally intercepting a wire communication.
I didn't think of the consequences when I was engaging in this behavior. I just did it. I'd copy the code, store it on a computer, and go right on to the next without even reading the code.
Interesting.
You know, and that's a complete different motivation of somebody who's really out for financial gain or a foreign country or a competitor trying to obtain, information like economic espionage, for instance.
You know, I hate to suggest a waste of your talent, but as I listen to you, I think you'd make a great lawyer.
Well, I don't know if you're convicted of a felony if they'd allow you to be admitted to the bar.
Kevin Mitnick
Hey, is there
is
some
released
Metal Gear?
from prison after nearly 5 years. When Kevin was on his crime spree, his hacking exploits seemed like mythology to the outside world. But by the time the sun hits his face, the world needs his skills. So, soon after his release, he testifies before the Senate and advises on how to better protect computer systems from attacks.
Alright, Kevin was freed. And then it all ties into Coob Face.
So I really like Sleep, and the thing that I do like about Sleep is that it's an alternate reality. Nothing is impossible in Sleep.
So where did Coob Face play into anything with Kevin's story? Or at all in this entire narrative? Where does that fit? It's just 2 separate stories. There's a Kevin story and there's a Coob Face story, and none of them really connect to each other other than Coob Face with the Free Kevin meme. Like, I hate that. Like, if you're gonna make a video, like, this should be 2 separate things instead of convoluting and watering down this whole thing. They did that in the last one too. It makes it fucking impossible to follow the narrative, and it just seems all disjointed and everywhere. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. It's such a shame. I really love the style of the channel, but they absolutely cannot fucking tell any story at all. It just gets so pretentious and wrapped up